So good afternoon. Yeah. So how many of you, it's a perfect lunchtime, so how many of you have actually eaten? Can I have a hand? Yeah. Already most of you are hungry. I'm going to be talking about food, so start. I want you all to stand up. We stand. And I want to do this with a lot of love and joy and good interaction, good energy, okay? So have a little space. So we start with something called as breath of joy, okay, all of you, so that we interact with joy and love in the next 1 hour, okay? So all of you put your hands back like this. Yeah. Spread out a little. Yeah. I think some of you can go this way. Yeah. There's a lot of you like there. Yeah. Okay. Push your hands out. Okay. Breathe in. Touch your head slightly up. Breathe in with your nose and expand your stomach, your lungs, everything. And then breathe out. Your head down. Okay. Your whole body forward. Your palms forward. Okay. And when you exhale, tuck your stomach in. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you guys. You can sit down. So, जब सारा ने मुझे बताया कि I'll be speaking to the contestants of the beauty pageant, I was like, I was very happy because आप लोग ऐसे लोग हो जो you have already come out of your comfort zone. तो तुम लोगों ने ठान लिया है कि हम कुछ कर दिखा रहे हैं कि नहीं? Yeah. So you are already out of the comfort zone. So it's not a big challenge to you all to eat healthy, stay fit, and stay in the right track, right? So I was very excited about this because you guys are already one step ahead, okay? Because you have entered beauty pageant, you people have said, I will do something in this world and show. So when you have this kind of thing, it's very easy for you all to move on in life with this much determination, and I'm so proud of you all. And I wish you all the very best for the final 26. Okay. So, to start this inspirational story about myself, okay? So, not so long ago, about a decade ago, I would say, I was 85 kg, yeah. So, basically, that was not my original weight. I was 65 when I got married. But a decade ago, I am an architect, basically an architect and an interior designer. But because I had to take the step back, and when I had my kids, I had to just stay home. Then for a person who was such a, who was enjoying her work so much, who was so career oriented, somebody who was so creative, right? And enjoyed, and I was well respected in my field. I suddenly had to take the seat back, and I had to sit home. At home. And then what happened, I started slowly getting a little depressed and losing track. And from there on, one day from 65, in a month or so, I was 70, and then 75, and then I started emotional eating, binge eating. How many of us have actually done that? Yeah, we all do that, right? Emotionally, one big tub of ice cream, and before you know, it's gone. One big pack of chips. And I saw a reel on Instagram, a cat was just putting one single piece of chips on the weighing scale, doesn't weigh anything, and she's thinking it's hilarious. But you guys know that once you start the pack of chips, you cannot let go of it. And you wondered why? Because they add some additives in it that makes it addictive for us. So once you open the pack of chips, there's no going back, okay? So most of us finish the entire pack. So keep your environment clean and don't bring in junk food. But I was in that state who had lost the purpose. A big void was in my life, and a vacuum which I was trying to fill with food, emotional eating, and half depressed, I would say, kind of resigned, kind of a human being. And before I knew, I was 75. Then 2 months gone, 80 and 85. Okay, that was 20 kilos from where I was already. And then what happened was. My daughter was 7 at that point, okay? She came running up to me and said, Mama, I want my old mama back. My old mama back. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean? She said, I want my old mama back. And I got very irritated with her. And then I went and looked at myself in the mirror. What did I see? I mean, I saw a depressed woman, a sad woman, a resigned woman who was not interested in any life, there was no purpose, and I was a complete different size. So then I said, okay, now I have to do something about it. And then I joined Go's gym and I lost like the first 5 kilos. And thereon, I took a personal trainer and then lost another 10 kilos. And then, like, when I lost the 10 kilos, my picture was put up on Go's gym, notice board before and after, because I had actually genuinely, you know, taken the challenge. And from there on, like, I started, seeing some purpose in my life. I said now I have to get into shape, and that became a initial purpose of my life to get back into shape. And then I started, researching, gathering books, studying plenty and all that. And I lost some more in the everybody, friends, family, everybody started noticing that I had come a long way. And they kept telling me also. And then I started taking certifications in nutrition. And I have got plenty. For those of you, I will introduce myself. I'm Fatima. And I have innumerable credentials in nutrition and life and success coach from J Shetty certification. Does anybody know J Shetty here? Yeah. So I'm a life and success because I wanted to develop myself three-dimensionally. But patla hona is not the only thing. We have to develop ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's why I took up courses in all directions. Yeah. So from there on, this story is not so that I can flex my weight loss. It's just to inspire you. Wherever you are in the journey, you can get better. So I will start by telling you about a typical day diet. Okay. So if you have any weight to lose, or if you're already there and if you want to maintain it, so what I'm going to talk right now will guide you through a typical day. So you will start your day with a warm glass of water, okay, with a pinch of Himalayan salt, half a lemon, and apple cider vinegar in it. So what does this do? The pinch of salt, you'd have lost your minerals and salts when you sleep. So that will replenish the pinch of Himalayan salt. Don't go for all the salts. They have microplastics in it. And then the lemon will give you immunity, boost your immunity. And then the apple cider vinegar here plays a big role. The apple cider vinegar it is science backed. Okay, so what it does is after you've eaten a carb-rich meal or any meal, it will bring your blood sugar down by about 30%. So you will say we are not diabetics, so what's the big deal? Why should I even care? That's because when your blood sugar goes up, everybody will go after you've eaten a meal, especially a carb meal and all that. So also your insulin spike will go up. So when insulin spikes, then it will only and only store fat. So when your insulin is low, that is when your body actually burns fat. So when your blood sugar levels are anything under 90 is when you start burning fat. So this apple cider vinegar has some science to it. So it's not like woo-woo or anything like that. So the next thing is we have to bring that empty stomach. Is that okay? No, not always. Apple cider vinegar. This is just before your meal. To bring down your post okay, any carb-rich meal you can. But remember to have it with a straw because your teeth enamel can be affected. Okay, so definitely have it with a straw. So that's the first thing in the morning, and then I actually practice intermittent fasting. So there are plenty of benefits of intermittent fasting, right? Exactly why I do. When I had a place where I am now 60 kgs and I've lost 25 kgs in a period of last 5 years, I've maintained this 60 kgs weight. I've released 25 kgs, which is the weight of a 7-8-year-old child, So here when I'm giving you these tips, I have seen the results, I have studied and things like that. So this is going to help you guys. So if you want to make some notes, you can make some notes. So basically, intermittent fasting, there's a documentary who I'm a prodigy of her. I mean, I follow her and I write to her and things like that. So intermittent fasting has plenty of benefits. One, it reduces the size of your eating window. So mine is typically 18-6 intermittent fasting window. 18 hours is when I fast and 6 hours is my eating window. When your window becomes small, right? When your eating window becomes small, then automatically you will be in caloric deficit. So and we all know that one of the ways to lose weight is to reduce your calories. Another important thing about intermittent fasting is if we go as far as I go, not 12 hours, but if we go 16 hours, our body gets into something called as autophagy. Now, what is autophagy? Our body starts eating, eating not only fat, all your zombie cells and all that is not required in your body, it starts cleansing, it starts eating itself. So this is great for you. So all the things like which is not required by our body gets eliminated. So there was a study done that people like women who had breast cancer, okay, and after practicing intermittent fasting, 70% of them did not get it back again. So the recurrence of it was completely eliminated. So they want I don't suggest that all of you do it. So people you here out here who wants to eat breakfast. So how many of you think a bowl of fruit is a great idea first thing in the morning? No? All of you agree it's not a great idea? What about a glass of orange juice? No. No, whether sugar or not sugar? No. Fruit is sugar. Oh, you're saying no, I won't have it because it has sugar. Yeah. So your cereal bowls and things like that, they're absolutely a no-no. So what should you start your breakfast with? So you should start having a savory breakfast. So as I'm walking you through the breakfast thing, I would also give you some tips, okay, on there's a structure and a system that you have to follow for every single meal. So you start with protein, okay. It's better that you start with some veggies because the order is first vegetables, then your protein, and then your carbohydrates. And okay, probably not for breakfast, but at the end of the day, after your dinner, if you really want some dessert. But as we start with vegetables, don't go in for just your cucumber and potatoes and things like that. There is 90% water. So the effect that I'm going to say is going to create will not be created. But if you, and also people who have some issues with your gut, try to steam your veggies or stir fry them, but always start with a bowl of vegetables. So what does this do? What is this doing? This is actually creating a gel-like substance in your intestines, okay? So in your stomach and the lining of your intestine, so it already feels a little full. So the absorption of the nutrients and then gastric emptying becomes slower. So so the vegetables are already how much is the size of your stomach, guys? Any idea? No, that's your heart. But then chota guys, stomach bada. Sorry for the ladies there. So what I'm trying to say is, our stomach is 2 fist size until it starts expanding. Okay, so the more you eat, it will keep expanding. But in the inertia, when it's not doing anything, it's about your 2 fist size. So what does the protein do? You need at least 30 grams of protein in every meal. So what does the protein do? It releases something called as GLP-1 that keeps you full. Okay, it's a satiety hormone. So most of these actresses and celebrities, they inject GLP-1. There's something called as Ozempic. Yeah. So that's what. But you can have 30 grams of protein in every meal, and that will take care of your satiety and hunger and all that. So you don't need to take those expensive injections. They have a downside. You lose muscle also with the injections, not solely that you're losing fat. But every other person is using now. Yeah, it was basically designed first for diabetics. Yeah. The doctors only prescribed for them because their hunger hormone would not settle down. They'd be very hungry and eat a lot. So they needed something to pull down. But it has downside and everybody is using it, but once you stop, all the weight gain will come back. Okay, why not go for something that is natural? That is your protein. So how many of you here are vegetarians? Yeah, so quite a few of them. So it's always a challenge for vegetarians to get your protein because there's always a thing about getting all your 9 amino essential. When I mean essential, the body doesn't create it. So that's why it's essential. So why do we need this 9 amino acids? Because first I said GLP-1, okay? That is, gives you satiety. Another point here is it creates a thermic effect. So what I mean by this is when you eat your protein, if you're eating 100 calories of protein, about 30 calories of that are already burned because it has to digest protein, which is difficult to digest. So it's a win-win situation. So first we go with vegetables, then we eat our 30 grams of protein. For you out there, vegetarians, you can go in for quinoa. Quinoa is a little low, but soybean is very high in protein. And paneer, tofu, all are great. Rajma, chana, chole, hummus, everything. Yeah, all these have great amount of I see you already are educated in this area, so I'm very happy to be, just assisting you guys. So, like I was saying, yeah, so you can have that, and then finally you can opt for complex carbs. There are like 3 or 4 different types of carbs. There are simple refined carbs, then there are complex carbohydrates, and then there is something called resistant starch, and also your nature's carbohydrates. So what exactly is simple carbs? Simple refined carbs are just your plain rice, pasta, bread, white bread, brown bread also these days is just dyed and put in the like, so I've heard that they're not actually putting the effort there. And we, especially donuts and cakes and pastries and all those things are your rich in sugar and your simple carbs. Now we are suggesting to eat complex carbs if you have to eat. Some of you will not be eating carbs also, must be on keto and paleo and things like that. But to have that satiety, to feel like full and everything, complex carbs, you have to use millets. Okay, your quinoa is also a complex carb. Sweet potato, it will come in nature's carb. Nature's carb is like your fruits and vegetables. Okay, they're great. But fruits, again, in the morning, avoid them. Okay, I'll tell you when to eat the fruit. So you're having your complex carbs. But it's something, see, you can have your jawar roti, millets, all, ragi, jawar, bajra, all of these, they are millets, and you can make a paratha out of it, and you can have it to the end. So now we talk about something called as resistant starch. This is for people, I know most of you must be like, we all have heard that protein is a superhero, right? It's a superhero. Just like that, your carbohydrates will. Okay, but some of us here, like, we can't do without our very simple carbs. So that's why the trick of resistant starch. So it's a villain, and I would compare it to somebody like Shah Rukh Khan and the negative roles, okay, like your dad and things like that. But we still like those things, right? So there's a hack here. So what do you all do when you have a problem? So you can cook this food, like your rice, your pasta, your potatoes, and all that, and put it in the refrigerator, okay? And after 4 hours, the structure and the molecules of the refined carbs will change. It has become resistant starch, and it will not be so bad for you. But again, stick to complex carbs as far as possible. But yeah, there are ways when you want to eat your white rice, your bread, and things like that. So refrigerate it for 4 hours, pull it out, and again follow the structure. That is, your veggies first, and then you're having veggies first, then you're having your protein, and then you're having your carbs. So simple carbs, preferably not, then complex, and then your what do you say? I just now said resistant starch. So moving to all, like,
white rice is fatty?
No, white rice is simple carbs. So it rises your sugar level up fast. So brown rice or quinoa or any of your millets are better than white rice. But if you eat them in this particular order, it won't cause that much of a problem. Okay? And especially if you want to eat your rice, you refrigerate it. Okay? And you refrigerate it, and after 4 hours, you remove it. If you heat it up also, the structure of the molecule will be resistant. What I mean by resistance, it doesn't get digested in your small intestine, and it will go in your colon. So there, the gut bacteria is very favorable for it. So that's why it slows your digestion, slows your, the rising of your blood sugar level, which will rise your insulin, which will cause the fat gain, so and things like that. So we have covered, I forgot to say, like mid-afternoon, what would you want? You should, sure, go ahead.
How would start? Like you said, to start a day with steamed veggies, right?
Yeah, no, first with your hydration.
Okay, so instead of that, like I start up my day with a good fat, which is called desi ghee. So how about starting a day with a good fat?
There's nothing wrong with it. You mean instead of your warm bath, obviously you're going to have some meal, right?
Yeah, right after that. The first will be this. I consume that
instead of your lemon water and your especially with people who have very imbalanced hormones, the healthy fats like your ghee and things like that is very good. It's not for everyone, but healthy fats have a very important role. They're very good. So you can start, and it also helps with your bowel movement.
But ghee is fatty, right? It's a good fat. Because I do gymming also. I take it like a bullet coffee.
Yeah, There are a lot of people who do that. I would avoid a bullet coffee. You know why? Because it raises your cortisol.
I worked out my cortisol. I worked out my cortisol, I worked out my metabolic rate. Right after that, I started taking the bullet coffee.
There is no one thing like I worked on my cortisol. It is not something that will, like I worked on it halas. Every single day the cortisol will rise in the morning. Okay, every single day the cortisol is a stress hormone that rises in the morning, which it is supposed to do. And it's what do you say? Cortisol is that hormone that keeps you alert from the dangers, right?
But it's not like cortisol which rises only when you are in stress, so you are not in a.
It normally rises in the morning every single day to help you do your work, to help you do the work. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you think that you are in good control, you can have. A lot of Westerners have a bullet coffee. So starting your day with fat is not a bad thing, but I would advise every single one of you. It's individual. If it is working for you, great. Because healthy fats create something called as butyrate, which is a fatty chain acid in our stomach, which is great for our digestion. So those of you who are struggling with hormonal balance, or those of you who are struggling with bowel movement, starting your day along with the lemon water, you can add MCT oil or your ghee or whatever in it, and you can have. So there's no issue there. So mid morning, what do you have? Like you have your breakfast in this order. And you know that first thing in the morning you have to have savory, namkeen, khana hai. And then you know that in the afternoon, mid-afternoon when you're hungry, go for your chowch because it's a probiotic and has healthy fats, and protein. So it's a win-win for you. And from there on to your lunch, again follow the same structure. Your veggies first and things. But most of us eat dal, rice and ghee also. And then you think, if I've eaten all my vegetables, if I've eaten all my paneer and my tofu or my chicken and everything, in the end, how can I possibly eat my dal chawal? So you can eat your dal chawal. What you do is, you just have to increase your vegetables. Double your vegetables, half of your plate should be vegetables. So eat that 1/4 of the vegetables to start your meal with. And then you eat half of your protein. And then you mix your small portion of dal, rice and all that. So what dal is mixed with rice is dal doesn't have all 9 amino acids. What dal has, rice has is methionine. So the methionine is missing in dal. So that's why you mix dal and rice. And here comes your 1 spoon of ghee that you add with some sabzi. So start with your sabzi, then your paneer or your rajma, chole in it. Or for us non-vegetarians, it's very simple and very easy, basically. Because I will have fish or I'll have chicken or something like that. So then we move to mid-evening when I have personally green tea, also matcha. So what's the difference between green tea and matcha? Matcha is better, only I think because like your Amazon subscription, you also have something called as a Prime subscription, right? So your matcha is your Prime subscription. So it's much better than this, because this just doesn't have EGCG. This also has L-theanine. So what is L-theanine? It increases your focus. So afternoon, mid-evening, you get that crash, right? You want to have something that will increase your focus. So, and of course EGCG and the antioxidants will help you burn fat. So it's an excellent evening time to eat. Have your nuts, soak your nuts, your almonds and your walnuts, and peel the almonds, like 4-5 almonds, 4-5 walnuts, and then you can have your evening snack. And then on again, we have dinner. So the same structure follows, but avoid avoid mostly carbs in the night. I will go in for a soup, and of course your salad, that is great for you all. And then like late night, I would say you should eat your dinner at least 3 hours before you go to bed. So having said that, what do you do in this 3 hours to get hungry? So you can have pistas. They have something that called tryptophan. So what do pistas do? They induce sleep in your body. So you can have like a handful of pistas, and you can also have what else induces sleep? Chamomile. Yeah, chamomile is great, and even also your golden latte, that is your milk with your turmeric in it and a little bit of pepperine in it. So when you mix a little bit of pepper in it, the potency of it will increase. So also tart cherry juice. Berries are great for your health. They have a lot of antioxidants. So this is where you can, and they also have low GI. That means again they're not going to spike your blood sugar level. Then it's a way to eat it immediately after your dinner. You don't want to keep adding on sugar close to your sleeping time. So this is where when you have a dessert, like after dinner, your fruit, your fruit, and then you can also have dark chocolate. So this is great because it has something called as cacao. Dark chocolate has to be 80% dark chocolate. Okay? Otherwise, the sugar is too close to bedtime. It's not a great idea. So, and yeah, but this golden latte also has lactose, which also has some sugars in it. So at least 1 hour before bed. So the best thing is the handful of pistas. If you're having a fruit, mix it with some nut butter. So that, of course, fruit has fiber, and of course, it will not rise that much sugar as just having a plain chocolate or some candy or some ice cream. But to stay in line, in track, it's always better to mix your fruit with some hummus or with some nut butter. So it further slows down the sugar spike. Okay. So now I will talk about pressure.
So you are saying about nut butter also. Which one is more healthy also in terms of peanut butter, or is it like almond butter?
All nut butters are good, but almond is better because peanut causes, for few of you, allergy. Not all of you, you have to check and see. We are all bio-individuals. So one doesn't fit, like one rest doesn't fit all of us. Like that, even the diets, you have to watch and see what works for you. So I have peanut butter because for me, one, it's doesn't cause me any allergy and very easily available. Two, because I'm already having a lot of almonds. Before, like in the evening with my green tea, I'm having my soaked almonds. Okay? So that's why I'm going for peanut butter. So any nut butter will reduce that blood sugar level quite well. Now for you beauty consultants, we'll talk about skin health. Okay, I have 5 top foods that you should consume for great skin. So first is collagen. So what is the collagen? Any of you?
Collagen is something which is required to maintain your skin health, your hair health, your nails and all. So collagen,
what exactly is it?
It's a protein also, plus it is available now in the form of a powder and even gel.
Yeah, that's supplementation.
Supplementation.
So collagen is definitely a protein, and the real source of collagen is only through non-veg sources. That is like your fish skin, your chicken skin, bone broth is a great source of collagen. And for you vegetarians, of course, there's flaxseed, KFC. That's another complete subject. KFC is fried with oils that it will be eaten. That is a completely different subject. So no KFC, please. That's deep fried. Please, So number 1 is collagen and omega-3 fatty acids, which are also there for vegetarians. Your chia seeds, you just soak it in your glass of water, and then there is flax seeds and your walnuts. But collagen is not there. You want to get something called EPA and DHA, which is very essential for great skin health. So you can supplement. There are lots of supplements. I'm not going to. Nobody's paying me so much. There is here in Dubai. There's now Solga, Nordic Nature, Desson. There are quite a few. What you have to make sure when you're supplementing is that vegetarians, I prefer that you go for 5 grams of collagen. And what you need to do is basically make sure that the fillers in the supplements are few and it's ethically sourced. So that's why the brands I'm already speaking about are great brands. Okay. Then when the next food is tomatoes, guys. So tomatoes acts like it has something called as lycopene, and it's a natural sunscreen. Okay. So, but how does it become more potent? Not just eating in a salad raw like that. When you fry it with, stir fry with your olive oil, which has a low smoking point, so generally say quickly off the stove, and you sprinkle some herbs in it, it becomes more potent. And when you have this, it increases your skin health. Okay, so naturally it's a barrier for your thing. So UV rays will not penetrate. So tomatoes are great. So 1 hour before you step out, you can have tomatoes. Then next is avocado. So avocado is rich in vitamin E, and we all know that vitamin E is great for skin. So what I do is I take a portion of avocado and also put it on my skin exteriorly. So it's a good mask also. It's moisturizes your skin, and vitamin E is great for you. So avocado is a healthy fat, and we all need healthy fats, like you were saying. What's your good name? From Julie. Julie. She's a doctor. No wonder. So, like Jimmy was saying, healthy fats are great for you. So, vitamin E is in avocado, and it also has something called folic acid, which is great for you. So, I spoke about, berries, like you were saying. What's your name? Jaya. Like Jaya was saying, berries are filled with antioxidants, anthocyanins, and also phytonutrients, and they are filled with flavonoids and things like that. They're great for you. The best food that anybody should eat is also for your brain health. So to stay focused and to stay sharp, berries are fantastic. They have low glycemic index. That means what they're doing is they're not raising your blood sugar up. Okay?
Any sort of berry, like
Especially blueberries are great for your hair.
raspberry.
All the berries are great, but blueberries are great for your skin and for your brain health. Okay? Just like walnuts are great for your brain health. So for your skin health, also blueberries are the best. And then the last one is eggs for your skin because it has something called as choline. And choline, what it does is it maintains the structure and the membrane of your cell so that your skin is not sagging or anything. Sometimes what I do is after I crack an egg, I take what is left in the egg and apply it all over my face. So it also has some amount of collagen in it. It's great for your skin. So the 5 foods I mentioned just now. Anybody? Collagen, yeah. Berries, avocado and eggs. Yeah. So if I say there are 5 pillars to weight loss and for general good health, and we have started with nutrition. So what would others be? Any guesses? If I say nutrition is one big pillar, so if I say nutrition is great for your fat loss, but it's not the only thing that is, of course, sleep is great, stress management, exercise.
Daily routine.
Yeah, okay, and positive mental attitude. Okay, so 70% is attributed to nutrition, which I've covered. There's so much, the wealth of information is there. It cannot be given to you in one section. Now we move on to exercise. So if I'm attributing 60 to 70% to nutrition, then I will be attributing like at least 20% or so, 15 to 20% to exercise. So how many of you have heard of HIIT? High intensity interval training. So this is excellent, guys. So there's something called as Tabata. So in Tabata, what you do is 30 seconds, you go all out. Mostly HIIT is nothing but your cardio done to like 30 seconds, you go all out. 80% of your heart rate should be decreased. It should touch 80%. Okay? You become breathless. It's like, this 30 seconds, I'm going to go all out. And then you rest for 10 seconds. And then again 30 seconds, and 10 seconds, 8 cycles, that's 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, I'm not talking about the 10-second rest, 4 minutes, 40 seconds, 30 seconds. So what happens is this is giving you an after burn also. So after burn is something that you burn your calories even after you finish working out. So normally if you just walk, you would have burned calories only while you were walking. So how can you perform HIIT? You can do your, like running is a great way, and especially Tabata, where you are like raising your heart rate, so it's a cardio, but which gives you a afterburn. Okay. So also it's heart healthy because you're pushing your heart so much that it is great for your heart. So, and it's giving you an afterburn. And then next I will prioritize. Then you have resistance training. So what exactly is resistance training? Like? You build muscle to get it to that, burn it out. All exercises will do that. But when you are resisting, like when you are using your resistance ropes or even your body weight to do like your push-ups, pull-ups and things like that, or yours, so it contracts your muscles, okay? And this resistance training is also great when you do it with your dumbbells, weights, bars, machines, all of that. So resistance training is great for us. Why is resistance training great for us? Because women lose their bone density and muscle mass after 35. Okay? So there's something called as sarcopenia. So in fact, like if you do resistance training along with eating adequate protein, you can combat that. You can maintain, and in fact, some of us also can gain muscle and bone.
Is it the core training? Core training.
Core. You're talking about your core.
The back. The muscle to be like.
The lat pull down is great for your back muscle. Yeah. You get those nice straight shoulders. The lat pull down is great. But for your core, guys, you should do your planks. Okay.
Yeah.
Not for squats, not squats for your hips, okay? But planks are great, and there's something called as fascia. How many of you know fascia? It is like an inbuilt corset, okay? It's an inbuilt corset in your body. It is a thin membrane that clinches your abdomen area or your muscles. So to activate that, when you do that, your core will start showing result. That is, there's an exercise especially called as leg bar. I would suggest you go to my Instagram handle. So those of you who have internet here, it's HN Fatima. You can look me up. I have all this about fascia, about your planks, and I give free content, guys, right here. N as in night. Fathima. HN Fatima. Did you find me? Yes. Yeah. Some 30 odd thousand followers. That's me, yeah. It says Hafiza Nagina. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Hafiza Nagina Fatima. HN Fatima. You can follow me. You'll get all about planks, fascia, your shoulder exercises, your hips, and everything. Three-dimensional way of doing things. So when we're talking about exercise, then I spoke about Tabata, I spoke about resistance training to increase your muscle mass and to increase your bone density. Do it 2 to 3 times a week. That's a great thing to do. And your high interval intensity, do it. You have Tabata exercises also on my Instagram. If you just go look down, you'll find Tabata also, that is HIIT on my page. And then we have yoga, guys. Increases your mobility, basically, and increases your stretching, flexibility, everything. What's more, yoga brings mental peace when you do it with the soothing music. When you do it with soothing music, so it brings mental presence, mental clarity, improves your strength also when you're doing, your strength yoga, and it's great for your spirituality also. So next, I would say, please do your 10,000 steps. If not 10,000 to 8,000 steps, okay? This is important. And then there's something called as NEAT. How many of you here know what is NEAT? So it's non-exercise activity. Non-exercise activity. We need to do this. I go gym 1 hour, okay? And I'm also doing my steps, and that's it. Like, I'm going to be sitting on my couch all day. That's not how it works. What you can do is, how you increase your non-exercise activity is, suppose you're parking, you have to go to a certain building. Don't park too close to the building. Park a little. What we're doing is we're always trying to go too close to the building, right? So park a little away from the building. Well, supposing you just have to go to the first floor, take the stairs. At home when you're cooking, just move in the house, guys. Just move. Now all of us have house help, we even have cooks and things like that. But if you're just sedentary and if you're saying, I'm doing my 8,000 steps, 10,000 steps, I'm doing that 1 hour gym, that's not enough. You need your non-exercise activities. So this is for your exercise. Now when we're talking about sleep, okay? So we have sleep. Sleep is very good for us, guys. We know that sleep is very essential. So why? Because one, you get growth hormone. 2, when you wake up cranky. Okay, what happens when you wake up cranky, fatigued, and things like that? What happens? You are unable to eat and make healthy choices. And your hunger hormone for ghrelin will be up always. Always you'll be reaching out for food. Why? Because you haven't had good night's sleep. You can't make good decisions. Your hunger hormone for ghrelin is up. So sleep is important. So how do you practice sleep hygiene? First, it starts from the daytime when you have to start. So as soon as you wake up, you have to follow the circadian rhythm. What is circadian rhythm? No, you follow the sun. That is circadian rhythm. So when you wake up with the sun and go to bed a few hours after sunset, when you're following the sun, that's circadian rhythm, not a sleep cycle. So once you wake up, you have to get up and open the curtains and get that sunlight on your face. Okay? When you get that sunlight on your face, it starts releasing cortisol, like you were saying, and 12 hours after that, it will release melatonin. So it will, unless your cortisol is kicked in, your melatonin will not kick in. So first thing is go stand 5 to 10 minutes, get the sunlight. So that's the first way of thing. Then of course your caffeine has to stop 6 hours before your bedtime. So what do I mean by 6 hours before your bedtime? Like if you're going to bed by 10, stop by 4. By 11, stop by 5. So your chai, no Arabic people anymore? Anybody? No. Yeah. So your chai and your stuff and all like that should stop, okay? And then get blackout curtains. Blackout curtains are those that will make the room completely dark, unless you of course want some light on your thing. So, like in olden days, we used to sleep in a complete dark, in caves and things like that. So that will induce good sleep. And then we have blue light blockers. So blue light is not good. That's a blue light. Warm light, those are warm lights. So we need blue light blockers because when there is blue light in the room, then you can't, go to bed, which will not keep in your meditation. So the sleep is not easy. Then take a bath to reduce your temperature in the body. And if you have a ritual just before bed, like meditating, praying, when your body starts understanding it's time to sleep, journaling and showing gratitude before sleeping is very important. When you remove all the stress in the journal and you write 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed, that's amazing. Why? Because when you sleep with gratitude, you've given everything away, you're thankful, and you will go around so you fall asleep. Okay? So once sleep is done, we were talking about stress management. Now, stress management is like basically related with cortisol. So all of you, as a finishing exercise, you want to just go in there with self-love. Okay? So face each other, face each other. So I want you to practice this every single day. Okay? Every single day, look at yourself in the mirror. So now your mirror is, yeah, okay. Look at your partner and say, I love you. I love you. You have a gift. You have a gift, and it is your duty to share the gift with the world. So it's your duty to share the gift with the world. Now you welcome to hug each other if you're happy. We're hugging each other.